Hey guys, John Madden from YouGoProBaseball.com, and I want to talk about slip pitches today. And I believe there's some misconception about slip pitches and that they're okay for younger guys to use as an alternative to throwing a curveball. Because a lot of people know that throwing a curveball or a slider at a young age is not necessarily the right thing to do or very good for your arm. So I saw some websites and some coaches believe that the slip pitch is an alternative to this, and I disagree very strongly. I think that the slip pitch, which is, by the way, you know, a fork ball, palm ball, you know, if you're throwing a shine, obviously like a spit or a shine ball, those are illegal, but they're also slip pitches. So those are some examples of slip pitches, but I think they're a lot more harmful than even the curveball or a slider at a young age. I don't think you should be throwing a curveball or a slider at a young age, nor do I think you should be throwing a grip pitch. If you want to see my recommendation on the age to throw a curveball or slider, I'll leave an annotation here for that video. But back to the slip pitch, it's really bad for your arm, your shoulder, your elbow, throwing a slip pitch, because what you're doing is you're throwing, you know, ideally if you want to have a good slip pitch, you're throwing the ball as hard as you can and you're letting it slip out of your fingers. So all your decelerator muscles and everything, it's like throwing a super light ball. You ever hear, you know, don't throw the tennis ball, you're gonna throw your arm out. It's the same thing. And a lot of guys, the slip pitch became really big in the 80s and early 90s. A lot of pitchers started throwing slip pitches, and the injury rate rose drastically after that. And I had a coach, a really wise coach, telling me when I started throwing, I threw a slip pitch the last few years of my career, and he told me that at the end of his career he started throwing a slip pitch, and that's what really messed him up too. And he said, looking back on it, looking at all the guys that had injuries in the 80s and 90s, he really believes that the slip pitch is a major cause of why the injuries happen. So I believe it too. When I look back, that's about the time I started having a little bit of arm trouble. So not that I don't recommend it for some older players. Some of the pitches are pretty nasty, but just be careful, you know, and do your research. And you know, I kind of used it as a last resort. The fork ball, I was throwing a fork ball, I used it as a last resort, and it was nasty. It got some guys out, man. It was a pretty good pitch, but you know, looking back on it, was that what led to me having shoulder surgery? I don't know. Who's to say? I don't know. It didn't happen on one specific pitch, so I can't say. I'm just saying be careful. And as an alternative for young players, instead of the curveball and slider, definitely not. I definitely do not recommend that. Again, watch the video on the age recommendation. I'll leave an annotation for when I believe it's okay to throw younger guys to throw a curveball or slider. Good luck, guys. I hope everything goes good. And if you have any questions or comments, leave it under the video, or hit me up on the website.